Hey everybody, it's Shirley Bovshow, and today I want to show you how to prune back your roses in late winter, early spring, so that you have great growth, beautiful shaped plants, and lots of flowers. Let's get started. Okay, take a look. This is my herb and rose garden in my community garden. But at this point, some of these rose plants are way too rangy looking, like this one with the white rose. And it's time to shape it so that all new growth will be directed in a direction that I want it to go. Earlier I mentioned something about new growth, and just in case you've never seen it or noticed, just so you understand the growth pattern of a rose, you can see in here at the bottom, at the base, that there are dark brown stems. That is old growth. And then, but you notice how the green growth comes from it? There you go. So this is the new growth. And so we want to shape and cut down this rose plant so that it will encourage a really pretty open form rose plant. Now, something you have to know before you start cutting down your rose plant and trimming it in the late winter spring is, does your rose bloom on old wood? Or does it bloom on this year's new growth? Some older roses, they may bloom on old wood. So you don't want to cut it down now, because if you do that, then you're sacrificing the blooms for this season. And as you can see here, towards the center of the plant, there's a lot of stems that are crossing each other. And they're actually, as you can see here, that is not optimal growth. So one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all of the stems that are crossing into the center of this plant. Goodbye. Do you see how open that looks now? Middle. Here's another one. And the reason why I cut this one and not this one, because they are crossing each other, is because this is the smaller one of the two, and it also is one that's growing towards the middle of the plant, whereas this one is growing outward. And we want to again encourage that vase shape open feel. So this one is going bye-bye. Do you see this spindly little stem? This is weak. And this is not one that I want to encourage to continue growing. So I'm going to cut this one out. Done. And as you can see, there's an old stem here that is dead. That's not going to grow anything else. There's no buds here for it to grow. But we've got a lot of new growth on the stem next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Goodbye, old dead stem. Now we opened it up. It's not rubbing against each other anymore. So one of my techniques of pruning my roses down is every once in a while I have to step back and take a good look at what I'm doing. Because sometimes when you're inside of a rose bush and you're right there in the middle cutting all of these branches, you don't really see the big picture. And so again, one of the reasons why we're pruning is because we want to create the ability for this plant to grow in a beautiful shape. Now I'm going to start reducing the size. I'm going to cut down maybe close to 2/3 to the bottom. And then you're going to see what remains here will be the framework of all the new growth for this season. So before you start really hacking away at your rose plant, I want to show you the right and wrong way to prune a stem in order to encourage proper growth. Let's take a look. As you go down the stem, you can see that there's little bumps or nodes. There's one right here. This is the growth point for this rose plant. So if I was to cut above it, the new stem would grow in the direction. This node here is facing inward to the plant. This is on the inside. Now there are other nodes. This node is facing outward. So when I cut above this node, it's going to lead all the new growth to grow this way, which is the direction I want it to grow. I want to have an open framework. Finally, this is our after. So I cut down about 2/3 of this plant and kept the very best stems. Take a look. And that is how you prune your rose plant late winter, early spring for beautiful new growth. I got a lot more roses to prune, but if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, Eden Maker by Shirley Bovshow, and opt in for notifications. Something I want you to know is I'm not just asking you to follow me. I'm here to help you. I have a 100% reply rate to all your comments and questions. I'm here for you. Eden Maker. Talk to you soon.